see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy...
On the first day of the 2026 MotoGP shakedown test, Toprak Razgatlioglu suddenly became the center of attention after setting a speed considered beyond Yamaha's own technical calculations. Riding the latest Yamaha V4 prototype, Toprak wasn't just fast. He set an internal record previously untouched by a Yamaha engine in the post-inline 4 era. From the morning, the atmosphere in the Yamaha garage was already different. It wasn't euphoria, but rather a silent tension. The engineers were seen staring at the data monitors more than at the track. The reason was clear. Every time Toprak exited the pit lane, the telemetry graph showed a spike in numbers that shouldn't have occurred during the shakedown phase. Corner entry speed, stability under hard braking, and even corner exit acceleration were anomalies that sparked serious discussion behind the scenes. What made Toprak's time so insane wasn't just the raw lap time, but his consistency. During long runs on non-qualifying tires, Toprak was able to maintain a rhythm close to a race simulation without a significant drop in performance. This strongly signaled that the Yamaha V4 wasn't just fast on one lap, but already possessed a solid racing foundation, something they had eluded for years. Paddock sources reported that Toprak had broken a time limit Yamaha had never achieved before in private, closed-door testing. The record was not achieved with a fully aggressive engine setting, but rather with a conservative setup specifically designed to understand the chassis characteristics and power distribution of the V4. This fact had rivals wondering, how fast would this bike be if it were fully opened up? Interestingly, Toprak's riding style appeared increasingly natural with the V4. Unlike the typical aggressive superbike approach, Toprak now shifted the bike's weight more smoothly, utilizing the V4's engine braking to maintain front-end stability. This combination gave Yamaha the appearance of having a new weapon in areas that had previously been their weak points: fast corners and transitions. The paddock's reaction was inevitable. Several rival teams were seen sending senior technicians to observe specific sectors where Toprak had recorded significant time gains. SEPANG sectors 2 and 3, which traditionally demand chassis balance and traction, were the areas where the Yamaha V4 appeared most dominant. This led to speculation that Yamaha's new frame concept had fundamentally changed the bike's character. Here's the full story. Today, the SEPANG International Circuit was more than just a testing ground. It became the starting stage for a major story that could potentially change the 2026 MotoGP landscape. Amidst the limitations of the shakedown test, which is usually quiet and low-key, Yamaha created an unexpected stir with Toprak Razgatlioglu's performance on the latest Yamaha V4 prototype. From the very beginning of the first session, signs of something unusual were evident. Toprak immediately found a rhythm that was unusual for a bike officially still in its early development phase. He wasn't just fast in one section, but also evenly distributed across almost the entire track. Initial data showed that the Yamaha V4 was able to maintain peak speed for longer on straights, while remaining stable when entering corners with extreme angles, a combination that has been Yamaha's nightmare in the inline engine era. Toprak's record today wasn't just a number on the timing screen. It was Yamaha's internal record for the V4 prototype category, even surpassing the simulations they had previously only dared to set for the official test phase. What made this achievement even more surprising was the context. Toprak recorded this time under less than ideal track conditions, with development spec tires, and without the use of aggressive engine mapping. Yamaha engineers were seen stopping the data analysis several times to ensure there were no misreadings. Telemetry showed that Toprak was able to get the bike faster on corner entry, with shorter but more effective brake pressure. This indicated that the engine braking characteristics of the Yamaha V4 were working in harmony with Toprak's riding style, something previously thought difficult to achieve in such a short time. Less discussed previously, but key to today's performance, was how Toprak exploited the flexibility of Yamaha's new chassis. Unlike the rigid approach used on the early V4 prototypes, this SEPANG version exhibited a higher level of compliance. This allowed Toprak to maintain consistent front tire contact, even when pushing speeds in SEPANG's notoriously confidence-sapping fast corners. Inside the paddock, the reactions of rivals were beginning to be felt. Several teams seemed to shift their focus, no longer on their own programs, but on specific sectors where Yamaha had suddenly taken the lead. SEPANG's second sector was a major focus, as it was here that Toprak recorded the most significant time improvement compared to Yamaha's previous benchmark. This fueled speculation that Yamaha had finally found the ideal balance between weight distribution, traction, and the power character of the V4 engine. What made Toprak's performance even more unbelievable was his consistency over the long run. In mid-distance simulations, the performance drop was barely noticeable. The rear tire remained within its optimal window, while corner exit speed remained relatively stable until the end of the run. For Yamaha, this was a crucial finding, as tire degradation had been one of their main stumbling blocks in racing. From a technical standpoint, Yamaha also benefited greatly from Toprak's detailed input. He reportedly provided very specific feedback on the point at which the bike begins to lose grip, as well as how throttle response affects the bike's direction at maximum lean angle. This information was thought to accelerate the development correction process, as it came directly from a rider accustomed to dancing at the limits of motorcycle physics. Interestingly, Toprak didn't appear to be pushing himself. His riding style appeared more mature and calculated. He wasn't seeking sensationalism, but rather reading the bike with precision. This further strengthens Yamaha's internal belief that Toprak is not only a performance asset, but also a technical catalyst in the V4 project, which has been shrouded in uncertainty. Yamaha itself has chosen to remain calm in public. There are no big claims, no over-the-top celebrations. However, the body language in the garage speaks more truthfully than any official statement. The faint smiles of senior engineers, the longer-than-usual discussions, and the decision to add an extra run for Toprak are all indications that today exceeded their internal targets. The shakedown test may not be a championship-deciding arena, but what happened in SEPANG today carries significant strategic weight. For the first time since major regulation changes were announced, Yamaha doesn't appear to be chasing the shadow of Ducati or KTM. They are creating their own benchmark, with Toprak Razgatlioglu as their spearhead. The final day of the Yamaha V4 private test at the Mandalika circuit turned into a moment that truly sent the paddock into a frenzy. From the moment the morning sun shone on the track, the atmosphere around the Yamaha garage was different. There was no excessive euphoria, no grand statements to the media, but everyone there knew one thing. Something important was happening, and the center of all attention was Toprak Razgatlioglu. Toprak began the final day's session with a very methodical approach. He didn't immediately chase the fastest time, but instead built a rhythm lap by lap. But that's where the surprises began. His time slowly and consistently dropped, with no signs of the bike reaching its limits. Sector data showed a clear increase in acceleration, especially on the exit of slow and medium corners, an area that had previously been the biggest challenge for Yamaha's V4 engine. In the paddock, the term "secret button" began to be heard. It wasn't a physical button, but a combination of electronic settings, engine mapping, and Toprak's way of harnessing the characteristics of this V4 engine. Over the course of several days of testing, Yamaha sought the balance between immense power and control. It was on this final day that Toprak reportedly finally found the formula that made the bike feel at one with his racing instincts. What surprised everyone wasn't just a single fast lap, but rather consistency. Over a long run, Toprak was able to maintain a nearly identical pace, demonstrating that this performance improvement wasn't the result of a momentary boost. The tires held up well, the bike was stable, and feedback to the rider was noticeably more positive than in previous days. Several rival technicians observing from a distance even admitted that this progress was visible, not just numbers on a screen. The final day of testing is always a day of proving ground, and Mandalika provided the perfect setting. The circuit's demanding balance between top speed and cornering stability made any weaknesses readily apparent. However, it was on the long straights that Yamaha's V4 engine now showed a significant increase in speed. This difference was clearly visible from the team's internal GPS data, where Toprak recorded higher speeds without losing composure entering the next corner. Inside the garage, the atmosphere was serious but confident. Discussions between Toprak and his crew chief were intense, with the telemetry data screen taking center stage. Toprak pointed to specific graphs several times, as if to confirm that his feelings on the bike now aligned with the data. This was a crucial moment for a major project, when the rider's feeling and the technical numbers finally converged. The privacy of this test actually added to its appeal. Without public pressure, Yamaha could work quietly, and Toprak could push the limits without distraction. But the results were too striking to hide. Word of the performance surge spread quickly through the paddock, fueling speculation.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me. Turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body